Well, this is a throw for us here at Radio Row. We are joined now by one of the all-time great players in NFL history. Not just receiver, one of the all-time great players.
Man.
Should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Ridiculous.
I carried that flag aggressively.
Yeah.
I know we had our run-ins
years
ago.
Should have been part of the 100 greatest, too.
You should have been part of the 100 greatest.
Crazy that I didn't even realize that
He's
until
Terrell
recently.
Owens, by the way. We haven't had a chance
Well,
to.
we don't even have to say
we
it.
don't need to say it.
No,
Yeah.
right.
T.O.,
right.
a.k.a. T.O. with us here.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
I mean, mother effing T.O. Let me just tell you, like in my career, right, there was only a handful of guys where you were like, whoa, we're going on the field today, and this is the first time I'm going to see this guy that everybody's been going, holy crap, wait till you see him, right? And it was him and Randy Moss.
That's
and,
crazy,
it was a short list of guys.
Wow.
We came to San Fran. I don't know if you remember, right? Tampa Bay. We came there. You caught a hitch route early in the football game and broke every tackle on the team and ran around and then ran into the goalpost and fell down.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the game?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah,
you dropped like 4 or 5 passes. You would have got off for like 220 in that game.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
It happens sometimes.
It happens.
But
The
that
ball's
was
coming in
awesome.
hot sometimes, or the quarterback doesn't, deliver it
happens.
accurately
Right.
like
It
you used to do.
Right, it happens. But that was an experience, let me just say, even for an NFL player.
When
Well,
we,
I mean, I appreciate it, honestly, because I hear all these stories now. I mean, even talking to Ray Lewis, sometimes, over the years, and, going, just talking to defensive players, going in, in their meetings, a lot of these guys, they're like, yo, this is a player you have to stop. And they circle your name.
You're right.
And then fast forward to the game, and then they go back and they're like, yo, we told you, this is the guy you have to stop. So I'm very fortunate, and I'm thankful for the career that I had, and number one, thanking God for it, and then just my ability to learn and want to learn more. I was grateful to be drafted here, where we in San Francisco. Dwight Clark was very instrumental in bringing me to the 49ers, and I was just talking to the last interview, just talking to him about just my stay here, my tenure here, just to play with one of the greatest quarterbacks in Steve Young at that time. It was short-lived because of his injuries. And then just to play with the greatest receiver of all time in Jerry Rice. My coaches, I have to mention them, Larry Kirksey, George Stewart, they helped push me to become the receiver that everybody saw on Sundays.
What's the biggest thing you learned from playing with Jerry Rice?
Just to be consistent, diligent. My work ethic was always there. Everybody always tried to compare and say, oh, he taught you work. My grandmama was a hard worker. My mama was. So I saw that. So I always saw that. And then just me not being good in high school and college, I was always wanting to be that guy. I wasn't the guy in high school. I wasn't that guy in college. So that drove me. Mediocrity, being mediocre, I had a strong distaste for that. And once I saw Jerry and I saw what greatness was and what I could be based on the potential and the projections that the 49ers drafted me, I wanted to live up to those expectations.
What's the feeling inside of you when you have that moment where it's like, all right, the beast has awakened, I'm ready, I'm going to embrace this? Like, what kind of rush goes through you when you understand I'm going to take this and I'm going to get the most out of what I have?
You kind of hinted on it with like he said, in that game that he saw me play, I had a bunch of drops. When you have the ability to know once you get the ball in your hands, anything can happen, I had to sometimes really be patient because I used to run before I caught the ball. That would contribute some to my drops. So when you have that ability, I didn't know that until after that big catch against Green Bay. That was the stepping stone for me to become
I'm about to be a superstar here.
After my 4th and 5th year, I like I said, I was trending. I didn't come in right away like a Randy Moss, straight out of Marshall,
like that,
and just come play right away and put up big numbers. There was a grooming process, a developmental process that had to happen for me to become who
You were
I did.
a late bloomer?
Late bloomer, that is the word.
Because how could you be the freak you are and end up at the schools you ended up at?
And I talk about my 3 pillars of success and how I got to be who I am. The 3 Ds: desire, dedication, and discipline.
Damn.
Everybody has a desire to do something in life. Dedication comes with the sport. But when you talk about every sport, there's always a handful of great ones. I'm a basketball fan, so you always hear about the greats in basketball, Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. What separates them? You hear their peers talking about it. You hear people like you read, you watch documentaries. discipline is what separates the great from the good.
Yeah, no, I always heard stories about you with your discipline. All right, so off of this, though, where'd you get your damn mouth from? Where did you get that from in the family? Where did you become this linguistic, I'm going to talk on the sideline, I got all
But
this
that's the
creative
thing.
shit
But
to
that's the
say
thing.
all the time?
You just said it.
Yeah.
I only did it on the sideline.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody can tell you that I talk trash during the course of the game.
Right.
I just realized, like,
Unless you went to the Star, and
right,
then in the
exactly.
middle of the Star,
but
in the
I
middle
realized
of the field.
during the course of the sideline, like,
Right.
I became like a must-see TV. Everybody wanted to watch and hear what I had to say. That's why they had cameras on the sideline, and that's why I played to the camera. I never talked trash during the course of the game. I did my work, and then I went on the sideline and I talked about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Sharpie connection is an obvious one
Yeah.
because Terrell famously pulled a Sharpie out of his sock. And
He's the first one that
signed an
started it.
autograph.
Yeah.
And you had the popcorn, and you did
pom-poms.
you did all the stuff that guys used to get fined for. Guys do that stuff now, and they don't get fined anymore.
Right, and again, like I said, now to be here some years later, I'm reuniting with Sharpie to help guys, that are making their marks on the field.
Right.
We talked about T-Mac from the Panthers
Yeah,
and
Terrell
Norman
Owens
Duzay for the Bears.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, this is a partnership. Like I said, I wish like we would have done years ago, but what a befitting time to have it, being here in San Francisco where that happened. And so again, like I said, I'm just I'm glad to be a part of that Rookie of the Year campaign for guys like that are making their marks on the field.
Who's
trying
the guy,
to make it legendary.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, like, who's that guy that pops to you right now, right? Those are some young bucks that are up-and-comers there, right? I don't know if there's a T.O. or a Randy Moss in the league right now.
Honestly, there isn't, because when
No.
you think about it, to be good at this, it's consistency.
Yeah.
You can't just have like a year here or one flash of the pan of a play here. Everybody talks about, you think about, some of the receivers that have played in the last 10 years. A lot of guys think OBJ is better than me because of that one big catch.
Right.
Great talent,
Right.
but what has plagued his career is consistency.
Yeah, right.
Injuries.
Right.
But you think about guys that are my size, there really aren't that many. You got A.J. Brown, you got D.K. Metcalf.
Right.
But again, even with those guys, I think now for A.J. Brown, for him, like I said, he's won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? What's next for him? Now it's being consistency, being that guy. You hear the term playmaker and game changer. Are you one of those two of those guys?
Yeah.
For me, I was a playmaker and I was a game changer.
You were.
There's not many that can put themselves in that category to really make a difference for an
Right.
organization.
Tyreek was that for a few years, right?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
He would have been that guy.
With
Yeah.
Andy Reid.
Right.
So with him, he became
that kind of guy.
Right.
Right.
And the thing is, Andy Reid is such an offensive mind and smart guy. If Tyreek Hill doesn't be with Andy Reid, we don't see Tyreek
Right.
who he is
He needed
today.
that development like you were
Exactly.
talking about.
And
right.
Andy Reid put him in a position to excel and
Yeah.
succeed.
Right.
And Tyreek has that dog in him too.
Yeah, right.
He wants to, he almost has that little man complex.
Yeah.
But again, he plays bigger than what he looks like.
No doubt.
Did you ever get a straight answer from anyone connected to the Hall of Fame, any of the voters, anyone, as to what happened when you didn't get in on the first ballot? Because that really was a travesty, and you're the first guy I thought of when they snubbed Bill Belichick last week, because that's the most glaring failure since they failed to put you in.
Honestly, I mean, it's just a lot of personal feelings from a lot of writers. And again, like I said, I don't know who's to blame, how you can rectify it. Again, somebody has to appoint those writers. So whomever's appointing the writer, and I don't have a clear answer. I know Jim Porter.
Neither do I.
I know Jim Porter is the president. He replaced David Baker. But even with my situation, whoever appoints those guys has to hold those guys accountable, because they have a duty to uphold.
Yeah.
Whatever your personal feelings are for a guy throughout the course of their career, whatever interaction you may have had, that shouldn't be taken into consideration.
Yeah, right.
As there's guidelines that they need to abide by.
Right.
And again, like I said, it's unfortunate, and Robert Kraft doesn't get in, Bill Belichick doesn't get in, and everybody's like, oh, well, he cheated, this and that and the other. Well, if that's the case, Tom Brady's going to be up in 28. He shouldn't go in first ballot.
There's been a lot of guys you can question.
Because there's no Tom Brady without Kraft, who drafted. There's no Tom Brady without Bill Belichick.
Yeah, right.
All those things go hand in hand.
Right.
And Tom Brady, I guess you can say, he was accused of cheating, and he got suspended for cheating.
Yeah. Yeah, he took care of the football.
Right, so there was proof in the pudding that he cheated.
Right.
So he shouldn't go in if that's the case.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like I said,
You're just saying you're just saying all this bias
just
and these
the
things are all
overall scope
ridiculous.
of how you look at the Hall of Fame and why those two didn't get in. Like I said, we've already gone. Why I went through it 2 years in a row. So you look at the overall arch and scope of what the Hall of Fame is supposed to mean, Canton is supposed to mean. There's a mission statement for Canton.
Yeah.
There's criteria for players and coaches. 8-time Super Bowl winner,
greatest coach in American sports history. It don't even.
And he doesn't go in.
No,
bro, that's crazy.
It's
to me.
ridiculous.
These guys have too much power.
Right. I'm going to make the official proposal here that we put Terrell Owens in charge of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's a passionate, persuasive argument because they got to get their shit together.
No, I mean, yeah.
Honestly, we can talk like that here. They'll bleep it out or not.
I get it, but I mean, like I said, it's taking away what the Hall of Fame is really supposed to be.
Exactly right. Exactly.
And it hurts the NFL.
It
makes the NFL look bad indirectly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
And you can't separate the two. You cannot separate the two. And I know, like I said, there's some things the NFL don't do with the Hall of Fame and vice versa, but there's no Hall of Fame, there's no Canton without the players.
Right.
You can't separate that.
Yeah.
We have to let you go. We'd keep you all day if we could. We'd just make you a co-host.
Yeah, your people want you to go, but you seem like you want to stay.
You have
so
other
like,
obligations.
He wants to stay, guys. Back
the great
off.
Terrell
Sorry.
Owens
We're making legendary
should have been
moments.
on the top 100 of all time. Should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is in our book. Thanks, buddy. Great seeing you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Always, man.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.